Good morning and aloha. So we're getting down to our last few Aloha Fridays. A lot of exciting news to share this week, so let me jump right into it. First of all, it's been a real exciting week as far as some of the developments with the COVID vaccine. So I'm sure you guys are already aware, but the COVID Pfizer vaccine has now been approved for middle school students, middle school age students, and I already have students who've been vaccinated and some who are scheduling their vaccinations, and so that's real exciting news. And then the CDC also announced that those who are vaccinated now, the recommendations are that they don't necessarily need to wear your mask outside or even inside some situations. And so we're, of course, going to continue to wear masks here at school because the majority of the students are not vaccinated. And but it does give some encouraging news as far as next school year might be more of a back to normal type of year. So certainly that is my hope. All indications I'm seeing from talk of what's going to be happening next year is things will be hopefully getting back to normal, and so that is just exciting news and wonderful to be able to share. And then the warm weather outside has allowed some opportunities to go out into the middle school North Greenspace and seeing some exciting things out there as well. Many new plants. I was able to identify some golden Alexander that's blooming right now. And so it's kind of a yellow version of Queen Anne's lace. And that was the first time that had been found out there in the green space. And so it brought our total up to about 38 different species of plants that we've been able to identify out there. And so it is interesting to note that, this is that area back there is really broken up into three different microbiomes. And so there's kind of a meadow area, a prairie area, and then an emergent wetland area. And so what I talked to the students about was, when we look at rehabilitation of natural areas like we're doing back there behind the school, it is a long-term project. And so when many would say, a year to sleep, a year to creep, and then a year to leap when it comes to perennials. And, I talked to the students about, enjoying these last few weeks as eighth grade students, because that's kind of where they're at. It is a point where, to develop students, it takes a long time. And so we talk about legacy, we talk about savoring these last few weeks, because very soon they're not going to be middle school students anymore. They're going to be high school students. And I'm encouraging them to come back and visit and see the real differences that they're making or had made here at Middle School North. Some of the things we have also noticed was I went out and was able to see several of the bee homes, bee boxes that we made are being used by pollinators. And so, the things that they are doing right now are making a lasting and long-term effect on our community. And that's really what I want to instill in them. And so amazing things are happening. As far as the last few weeks of planning, in science, we just finished up genetics. I'm still doing some finalized grading and getting that posted into Skyward. We are going to move into natural selection, but that unit typically takes me 3 weeks, and we only got about a week or so of instructional time. So it's going to be a lot more of a survey type lesson versus a full unit. So we're not going to do a vocabulary quiz. We're not going to do a unit quiz. We just don't have time for that. But some of those questions will show up on the biology final, which is the last week of school. That last week of school, I'm also planning on doing a frog dissection, having some problems getting the frogs in, some back order issues and some other things. So we might have to pivot on that. We're also talking about maybe doing a cow eye. There'll be some dissection or something that last week of school as we move forward. In honors science, I'm planning a little something different for them next week. We're going to be doing a virtual field trip to the Glass Barn, which is at the Indiana State Fairgrounds. We're going to be connecting with them virtually and are doing a unit, on extracting some DNA, exploring some things about GMOs, and some different things like that. So I did put a link to that experience in Parent Square. So if you want to take a look at that, you're welcome to. And that'll be something that I'm doing next week with my honor science kids to kind of check that out. So that's kind of a good overview of what's coming. Definitely appreciate everything you guys do as caregivers to support the learning that's happening in my classroom. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate, as always, to contact me, and I'll get back to you as quickly as I can. Thank you so much.